Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
So, are you recording this?
I am,
I see it.
and that doesn't. I like to record everything.
Yeah.
And I would never share anything without your full consent. So, and I'm not even asking to. So, I'll share it with you if you like. And that's. How do you feel about that?
Of course, yeah. I was hoping to share it with the world.
Okay.
I might do some edits here and there for private information about other people,
Sure.
Things that I'm embarrassed about.
Sure. Well, I'm happy to help with all that. That's usually something I do for callers is try to take all that work off their hands. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I almost feel like I didn't take enough.
Okay. How long ago did you take it?
Hour.
Okay. Yeah, that's usually sufficient. Do you know how many milligrams you took?
100.
Okay. Yeah. And how much do you weigh?
160 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, 100. With MDMA, my motto is usually to take more than necessary because but I think 100 is maybe on the slim side of a dose for 160 pounds.
Yeah, it's my first time. I did MDA before.
Right.
And man alive, if that wasn't something else.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much I took, but the MDA was oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like a truth serum.
It's
and I'm feeling good. I'm definitely feeling it right now, but it's just not.
Yeah. And it could take a little more than an hour. I don't know. Depends on if you had a full belly or what.
I did.
Yeah. That's probably it. Yeah, and I know that. Well, I think I know that in some of the clinical stuff that they do often offer people some and then offer them a little more in an hour. So I don't know if you have more to take, but I think that's pretty normal protocol for people.
Yeah, and I took about 25 more milligrams, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Just now, or about 5 minutes ago. Hold on a second. My headset dropped off for some reason.
Okay. I can hear you fine.
Here. That's so weird. It said it's connected. Let me disconnect and reconnect.
Okay.
I think maybe Zoom dropped it or something. Give me a second.
Yep, I'm hearing you fine.
Yeah, it's coming through my phone and all that, and I can hear you, but I just like
Mhm.
the headset. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the
Me
headset's
too.
easier because I don't have
Me
to
too.
hold my phone up.
Yeah, I rock a headset all day long.
Yeah, I got a really nice one too. I bought it like when I thought I was rich from GameStop money back in 2021.
Oh, cool.
My
Yeah, that's
God.
a good time to buy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way, thank you, James.
my pleasure. Thank you.
I just want to start off by, it's really good to do gratitude. And, you kind of gotta, I've been on this like term special sauce, like the special sauce that we put out into the world,
Yes.
is like, so I'm in this Zen Buddhism, class, and the leader of it back in 1200, AD in Japan,
Huh?
he actually, it's funny because he kind of turned Buddhism on its head. But he said, you actually do want to do self fulfilling activity as a part of your awakening process.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you're really trying to lean into duality as like, yeah, there's non-duality. Yeah, it's great. But also realize that duality exists. I think that totally resonates with
Yeah.
IFS, that we do have different parts and that, yeah, all is one. But
Mhm.
like you do want to kind of add all the sub personalities, if they are really fully like, at the top of the Maslow's hierarchy for each one of them, it's like
Yeah.
you're vibrating in you're rocking all cylinders.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Thanks
like
for sharing
especially,
that. And
yeah,
I love talking Buddhism stuff. It was a big study of mine for a long time, and so I'm open to hearing more and going in those directions. I love that stuff.
yeah, that was, when you're in Vietnam. I bet you might have sensed some of the energy that the Thich
Hmm.
Nhat Hanh's of the world had kind of infused into the culture.
Yeah, it is. I've yet to really dive in and start visiting temples and stuff, although that is on my list. But it is a type of place where there are monks just out and about. You just bump into them, and I'm not used to that in my where I live.
Yeah. When I was growing up in Florida, we had a lot of Catholic schools, and I went to a Catholic school, and you did have, you have the fathers. They would be like,
Hmm.
they'd have they usually like wear like a total black suit with like the little white thing on the collar.
Hmm.
And mine were great. They were really nice and whatnot. We went to another like Catholic high school, and they had friars or brothers, and they would wear the full robe, and we were always wondering, are they free balling down under there or whatnot?
Sure.
Um, but yeah, it's like, I think that's what was great about what Dick said. And I forget, maybe it was one of his books. He had said how like we had a spiritual, paucity, or just a total spiritual lack that started like most clearly in the 1980s.
Mhm.
And that just is total like a lack of spiritual food. We're totally
Yeah.
malnourished. And you go to
Yeah.
these other places. I was just with a friend who went to both Thailand and Taiwan. He goes,
Mhm.
there's little temples and altars all over the place. It's like
Yeah.
their spirituality is like thriving, and it's like dead here,
Yeah. 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 Vietnam's similar. There's a little shrine. I don't know what they call it in every home and every business, and there's incense burning everywhere. And sometimes you'll be on the corner of the road at a bus stop, and there's like incense burning behind you. You think, who lit this incense 5 minutes ago? Nobody's here. Like, it's just kind of, it's nice. It's one of my favorite things. Every time I get there, I just take a big whiff and love. It's just everyone's cooking, home cooking, and incense, uh, and
Yeah.
old mopeds burning away at their fuel.
Yeah. 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 If we get into it with one of my parts, my girlfriend, that we're taking a break, and might be the last break. Like she's Hmong and Chinese, and they had almost every time I'm over at their house, they're doing some incense to a shrine about, most recently her father died. And so they're always giving something to him in the other, in the other world. They give him like these pieces of paper that have gold. So he has like spiritual money for it to, just to pay for stuff on the other side. And it's like
expensive.
It's so different, and it was like a culture shock a little bit for me, but it really brought to bear that they're really they're being present with the grief. You know what I mean? They're not like pushing it aside.
Yeah, they're at least acknowledging that this is a person that was here. I mean, yeah, we have kind of zero in a lot of American culture. There's not really any form of like ancestor worship. We have our literary heroes and historical heroes, and you might visit a grave occasionally, but yeah, there aren't much in the way of traditions that honor the dead, kind of.
Yeah, like the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. I was like expecting to be like totally broken down at this point, like I was with MDMA MDA or even Bufo, but it's such a lighter feel right now. It is kind of euphoric. I get it when I say ecstasy, and I do feel just a gentle love for everything.
How long ago did you have the 25?
Oh, let's see. I mean, 10 minutes ago, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the way you sound, and I haven't talked to you much, but it's kind of probably how I sound when I think my doses are usually like 135 that I take at once. But yeah, I'm just feeling peace and love, and I'm journaling, and yeah, I'm not breaking down. I'm not leaving the planet. I'm just.
Oh, did you take some too?
Not today.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about. Sorry, I was using present tense.
Oh yeah, gotcha. when you do,
yes,
got it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, because they do that, shamans do that,
Sure.
But they'll take a little bit so they can get in the same plane as their as the person they're healing. Yeah. And it's interesting, you kind of at some point in certain circumstances you want to, like when I'm doing Bufo, and I'm kind of wanting them to also have a little bit, because it can be you can be a little scared if you're not in the same plane. Like one time we were in this teepee outside, and I had it was a really long experience, way longer than because usually they're like a half an hour. This one was like an hour. I don't know. I was just going through it. And at one point I just like, oh no, I'm now experiencing what it's like to die, like on your deathbed. And this was a guy and a woman. They both held me through it. And if I know they had taken something, so it was so much better to feel like, they were open to, and I was just like not embarrassed. This is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't have any experience with that Bufo.
It's something else. It's another plane, it's so wonderful. It's been a while since I've had it. So it's like I get called to it every so often just to get back to just that total just release, and just the body too. That's what I learned. Like the guy would say, yeah, it's for your psyche, your emotions, your healing, but your thinking and everything. But actually your body gets a lot of out of it, and that's what I learned from that. Just don't think, just let go with it. Yeah. Yeah. So parts. Lately, I've had a part that's very insecure. It's, with this breakup, it's funny, you go onto Instagram or Facebook Reels and you realize so many people are the same way. And, the algorithm does that for you. that people talk about.
I was gonna say I haven't used either Instagram or Facebook Reels, and yeah, I'm pretty unalgorithmed altogether. So yeah, you can tell me about it.
Yeah, it's it does when you see so many people going through the same thing. We all have this. So many of us have this enmeshed parents that create insecure attachment later in life. And so many people are like, I'm just waiting my heart is beating. I'm checking at you in all hours to see your updates on what you're liking on Instagram.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
do
yeah.
that now.
Yes.
Just to see those three dots, at the bottom would just fill me with butterflies.
Now that I do know about. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's I don't know if you ever heard of Pia Melody.
No.
So yeah, so in Many Minds Oneself, Dick references her that she was more early 80s, late 70s, and was also finding similar stuff to parts that were made up of parts. And she just broke it up into three. So she says we have an inner wounded child, an adapted child adult. So it's like a teenager that thinks it's an adult.
Right.
And then eventually when you do enough healing, and you get your functional adult. That's like, okay, that's like a self.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be if someone was trying to summarize IFS, but they weren't really going all the way or getting into maybe there's 100 parts, I can see that being a pretty accurate, analogy.
Yeah. She said she was given one talk once, and she was great. She's almost like one time I was like, is she the reincarnated Buddha? Because she would say like the middle way, and that's exactly what the Buddha says. And she actually said nobody really knows what's right or wrong for anybody else, and that's kind of a really Buddhist thing to say, And one time she was given a seminar at I don't know, looked like a library for people, for therapists or whatnot. And she sat up there and she goes, and she has such a great voice. I initially was going to do this talk on healthy relationships, but I realized I can't do that. So I'm going to do it on human relationships.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel when I see all these reels of we're all going through the same thing, and people will call it, oh, it's toxic, and you have insecure attachment, and this and all that, and you're a category, and you have you have ADHD and all this stuff. And it's just like at the end of the day, I don't know. So much of that is pathologizing, and not getting to the fact that there are parts of us that really are just crying out for love, and
it is. But it's parts of us that are pathologizing it. It's parts of us that are perhaps craving the diagnosis, etc. So while I agree that we need a different paradigm, let's not pathologize. Just keeping in mind that where does that come from, and why is it attractive?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
tell me what's wrong with me.
Right. Give me the scarlet letter that I can bear, and then eventually get the redemption from God when I finally have allowed Jesus to die for my sins.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and that again, you listen to the Dalai Lama, right? Come over here. And somebody asked him, at one of the seminars, and he goes, so what do you do when you hate yourself? What do you do? And he's like, what?
Right.
It's like, yeah. And it's like he in so much of the Eastern cultures, it's like not even a thing. It's not even a thing to be so much. I think I would assume, because there's so much more cultural or collectivist, where it's just like the health of the family is what you're looking at, not whether you're a bad cell within it.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely a very different culture and a different psychological culture. When I'm in Vietnam, it's like they have their problems too, but it's a very different flavor from what I'm used to seeing kind of everywhere here. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your voice got a little choppy there for a moment.
Yeah. My headset cut out again. I don't think
Okay.
I'm whacking it or something. But yeah, so getting back to, and when I talked to Dick on whenever it was,
Mm-hmm.
and my question for him was, when you get distracted, and because for me, that's how I get, I don't like the ADHD label,
Mm-hmm.
especially the degree to which people own it and try to, think that, yeah, it seems very limiting. But one thing that resonated with me is I saw this visualization where they showed say a constellation,
Mm-hmm.
and they said this is how a normal person's thought process when they're telling a story or thinking
Yeah.
go. Right? It's star to star to star to star to star to star, and then here's one with ADHD, and it's star to star, star burst, and it goes off in a different direction. Star burst, it goes off in a different direction. So I was like, yes, that's how I think. That's how I think because I get on the tangents are so interesting, and so I got to watch that because I said, that's how I am with like when I work with these guys in my 12-step meeting, sponsees, and we do IFS is like, they can have a lot of parts that are not letting them get to self. Right.
Right.
And I got to go through a lot of them. And then I get kind of like, ooh, this part, now I'm more interested in this part
Right.
because,
Sure.
when you're in 12 step, the agenda is to, to really work on to work toward the steps and to look at, addressing, because they're there for, stopping using and all that. And so
Mm-hmm.
I do find it's much more difficult for me not to have an agenda when I'm
Yes.
facilitating.
Yeah.
Um, so also it does for me, it like turns on my, I guess, like, what got me into research and grad school and grants is like the part that likes to really dig deep and do a deep dive and try to find hidden connections.
Yeah.
And so like they'll like, oh, this part, I want to go this part. And then but then you get off track. And
Mm-hmm.
so I asked Dick, what do I do about that? Because like one thing I like, again, going back to the tangent part of that and me feeling like I'm inspired to do this work rather than I'm doing it in a codependent way where I'm helping others,
Mm-hmm.
not working on my
Mm-hmm.
own shit,
Yeah. Yep.
is Frank Anderson had said one of his talks he did was talking about intuition with IFS.
Mm-hmm.
When you'll get like, you kind of want to use intuition and also help the client use intuition. And like they're at
Yes.
a block and saying like, he gave an example of just when you're at a block with a part or something like that. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
well, just kind of visualize what
Yeah.
does it need? Maybe I think he said, put it in a meadow and just
Mm-hmm.
see in this meadow with sunlight on it, what does it need? And that had been his intuition. So I like using my intuition when Frank Anderson or people like this give you like the okay. Then I lean into, okay, I know this might be a little agenda like, or I know this might be like a little more hands on rather than hands off. But I feel like doing it. And so I asked Dick, what do I do? And he goes, yeah. That takes a lot of experience because
Mm-hmm.
it's your own parts, right? It's a facilitator's parts.
Correct.
And so
Yes.
yeah, that's only as good as the artisan. Like any art you create is only as good as the artisan. Journey apprentice, journeyman, or master. And he says for him, he can be like a bulldog, or I think
Right.
he's a bulldog where he just like he doesn't let go of the part he's looking at. And I said, yeah,
Right.
you got but you do it with a gentle quality, and especially a confidence, a confidence
Yes.
that you're not pushing too hard, or you're not disallowing these other parts
Mm-hmm.
from speaking. Because like sometimes for me in the sauna, I do IFS in the sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes these parts are like, I'm not stepping back. I'm letting go. I'm screaming for the heavens because this is my
Right.
chance to. You're finally broken down because the sauna really does that to you. And
Sure.
I'm letting you know that I have needed to scream for a while,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah. And he said, yeah, just come to experience.
Sure. You know, as many demos as I've seen of his, and he is certainly confident in them. What percentage of those demos are just demos? They're not. We're not getting to see uh, what it's
The
like
full deal.
inside. What it's like inside the office with the really tough client on the 10th call or whatever. Which
Right.
is something I'm hoping that I am able to shed some light on with my thing.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
And so,
Your revisiting is a game changer.
Yeah. And so, it's like, I don't know, when it's a demo, I can see that making someone more confident. And I can also see that, it's just, we don't see when that confidence backfires, if and when. So I don't know. I'm not like, don't be confident or saying that he's doing it wrong, but I think all of us in the IFS world, we have really a caricature of who Dick Schwartz is based on our limited ability to basically watch his demos and read his books.
Yeah.
I
will say that I agree with you, but the what's the right word for the acolyte? No, the disciple. The disciple in me does know, what did they say? Don't just because you see birds flying, don't think you can, they're talking about Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. He's a Buddhist guy, came here, and he was an alcoholic, and he tried, had a lot of sexual problems with people, and he got in an accident. And they're like, well, how can he do this and start all these temples? And Pema Chodron was his follower.
Yes.
And I said, don't think because the birds can fly that you can. And that's how I feel with my mentor at the Zen Center here, Ted O'Toole, and Tim Burkett. Tim Burkett, who is a student of Shunryu Suzuki. They got a giant statue in San Francisco by. When I sit in the office with him, there is this aura there. And so many people say the same thing. He's got this aura that you just feel like you're with your grandfather in his self, his capital S self, not the grandfather, and so it's like, so I think the same thing is true with Dick. So many people said the same thing, that he exudes, and that's why I like write down exactly what he says in my notes, because I'm like, these are special phrases that he's like honed over 40 years.
Right. Yeah. That's how I studied.
Yeah.
Just copying his language and comparing it to other practitioners' language and rehearsing that language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. When he says, it's like, ask it if they'll step back so you can get to know this part a little better. And I'm like, there's a part in me that doesn't say that. When I usually say, I say like, could you ask this part maybe if it trusts you to work with this part, and you go in the waiting room. And I realize when I'm saying that, I'm still giving the impression that we're trying to change this target part. Where when he says get to know it better, he's doing the correct communication of, we're not trying to change it. That's not our goal. And you do the same thing. You do it quite well. You're like, you're not looking to change it. And you put that forward, and I really give you kudos for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a wonderful thing. By the way, did you see his last interview with Derek Scott?
Yes.
Oh my God. That brought, I was just going through so many emotions, because you could see the waves of grief going through Dick. He knew his friends dying, and oh man, that touched me so much. Oh my God. Yeah. So getting back to parts. I'm sad. I got a part that loves my girlfriend, and and loves her a lot. And,
Yeah.
mm, and, you know, mm, it's, it's almost like to lose her would be to lose, you know, it's going through the same trauma when I lost my wife.
Mhm.
It's, um, okay, now it's getting like MDMA or sorry, MDA. I remember this. I would get like shaky
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
opened
You're
up.
really able to tap into that. Sounds like.
With my ex-wife, um, is shock. It was a big shock. Um, Sex is love for me, and I'm working on it, right? Um, but it is. Um, and you know, I guess a part of me wants to open up about it. Like when I was 2, my
Hmm.
mom saw me in the kiddie pool at a park, and I was playing with myself,
Hmm.
and she was gonna go stop me, and my aunt said, "No, no, 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 Lisa. I read about that. That's something they do. It's
Yeah.
okay." Um, then my grandfather, he would read Playboys in the living room because we were in a
Yeah.
duplex, and they were on one side, and my family was on.
Hmm.
And they'd be watching Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. My grandma would be sitting right beside him.
Hmm.
He'd just be reading them. And I
Hmm.
realized, you know, when you get that old, you are reading for the articles.
Hmm.
Um, and so like you really gotta go back to the history, legacy burdens, right? Yeah, I mean, legacy burdens are not just the whole cultural burden, but the whole family burden, right? Reincarnation is kind of, I think, kind of that. And so my mom, my grandfather's mom was cold. Um, uh, she would go over to the house and take her little white glove hand and rub it on the sill, see if there's dust,
Hmm.
piss my grandma off. And, but she was cold and, very cold, person. And, but yeah, I think she messed my grandfather up,
Hmm.
cause she gave him the very first Playboy. I don't know how old he was, but it was Marilyn Monroe. Said, here you go. I know you're into women.
Sure.
Um, and apparently he had been an honor roll student, National Honor Society student in high school. Goes off to the war uh, in uh, in Hawaii on the mailroom, so didn't actually get the war,
Hmm.
and got thrown in the brig for throwing a cigarette butt on the ground and not wanting to pick it up. Um, yeah, he was fiery, I guess, and um, okay, I won't tell the joke he said. He loves jokes. I won't tell it though. Stay on point, Julian. Um, but when he said we got back from the war, he couldn't concentrate on anything. So you got
Hmm.
National Honor Society, right? National Honor Society couldn't can't couldn't couldn't focus on anything but girls, but women.
Yeah.
Um, and and is that him seeking out the love he didn't get from his mom? Right? You're the one you've been waiting for. Is the trying to redeem them because you didn't get the refrigerator, not refrigerator, the kitchen full of love that Don Miguel Ruiz said, right? I definitely didn't. I definitely didn't. It was a mixed bag with my mom.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
mixed bag with tons of tons of affection and you know uh uh taking like all the time with me. Stay at home mom. They had me as an accident when they were 23, dropped out of school.
Hmm.
Um and she loved me to death. And then but her mom had a temper, as she calls them.
Hmm.
Now when she says her mom had a temper, what she means is she threw a chair at her. And
Hmm.
she would break a brush over her head when she was trying to brush the curls out to get her ready for
Hmm.
school. So she had unregulated she had unregulated. You know, this is the parts work here. Going back to my therapist is she would tell me, you know, you had chaotic family because I would defend them. You know, This is, I guess, a manager. Yeah, it's a manager that defends the family and says, "Oh, I had a good, and my God, I carried that until like 30. Well, well, I was not mad at my mom. So again, I had a part that was very, I have a part. Okay. So this is good. So we're calling it the assessor part, right?
Okay.
Susan, my therapist, she says, let's call it the assessor part. And it was judgmental, right? It's very, very, very judgmental, especially against fat people. Very judgmental against fat people, mainly women. But because like my best friend Patrick, he was fat, and I don't care. My friend, one of the guys I love at work, Brent, he's very fat, and he's like one of the best guys in the world. And I love him. So it's women, and my mom told me, I was like, why people?
Yeah.
And it was like, Mom, why? And she's like, oh, that's your dad. I was like, what? Oh yeah, because I didn't know my dad hated fat people. I really didn't. He never expressed it. It's one of these things where you internalize things, and a part of me wants.
Well, actually, I don't know, and I hear in a lot of these stories there's a conclusion being drawn, and I'm open to lots of different conclusions and interpretations. So
you're in the panoramic. So Buddhism is the panoramic vision. You're in the panoramic vision, which is very great. And I love it. Does that verbiage sound right? Panoramic. You not psychedelics would say lantern consciousness instead of spotlight.
I would use parts language, and I would say that among the parts that I hear when I'm listening to you, and I thought maybe the assessor is this same part, but there is, I do feel like I hear kind of like we were talking about earlier, kind of a part that's maybe wants to have a diagnosis for each of these things. It's like, my dad was like, my granddad was this because of this. Yeah. My family wasn't chaotic. It was this way. And it feels to me like that part, has this desire to label it. And I also hear that you have a fluency with the language. So you're able to categorize in a specific way. But I'm assuming that's a part, and that is it's there for a reason.
It's there for a reason. It's so hard, dude. It's so hard, and that's where Buddhism is so great. There's this line. I just asked my teacher on Wednesday because it's like emptiness. I think what you're talking about is emptiness. You see every story as empty of any fixed diagnosis, empty of anything. It's just what happens and what people do. And
you talked about like your grandfather, he was obsessed with women for a while, and it's like, I don't know, maybe because he's just a young horny guy. Like, I don't know.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. And it's one of those things where Dan Siegel, he's a great guy, Mindsight, he wrote a book, and Dick, he's in the IFS too. He said, one of the jobs of a parent is to tell the kids their story, bad and good, not just the good, so that and it's at that point, then with what you're saying, you realize it's not bad or good. You're just telling the whole deal. You're just telling the whole deal, and you're not saying I was bad. This is what happened. And so when it comes to you, you don't bad or good. You just say, oh, these are the consequences. Maybe I'll accept the negative consequences for this. I mean, I sure do. But yeah, getting back to the story here. He read the Playboys, and I asked my mom, and apparently they were hot and heavy a lot, my grandparents. And so again, your thing of like, it's not bad. It's like, just realize, and it's so hard for me. It's so
Well,
hard
actually,
for me.
I wasn't hearing a value judgment in a lot of what you were saying. What I'm describing is more of a describer, more of a diagnoser.
Right,
And
right, exactly.
maybe there is value judgment, and I haven't really picked up much on that, but I just was calling attention to more of that uh, therapist part,
Okay,
more of that.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
the
do we call this,
backstory.
and where did it come from? Um,
Right, right.
and that
Yeah.
needs to be included in the story. Um,
Right, right, exactly.
yeah.
The backstory is I have a part of myself that is worried about sex as an
Mhm.
addiction or as keeping me from love. And so it's
Yes.
trying to pull together all these elements that are
Right.
trying to break me in a
Yep.
sense of my sex addiction or focus on it so I can get to
Hmm.
love.
Hmm.
And then I have another part of me that is like, no, no, it's you are, accept God grant me the serenity, accept things I can change, the courage to change things I can,
Hmm.
and the wisdom of the difference. So one of the wisdoms I've been coming upon of late is that I don't know if I can change or even want to change my high sex drive.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
it fills me with so much power, so much, so much zest for life, and so
Sure.
much just I do
Yeah.
want to separate sex from love. I really want to separate sex from love. I've had relationships that start with sex and you're
Yeah.
infatuated and the sex carries it because it's so good. We're not talking about, and that's the thing that I was starting to say when it's so hard. A part of me wanted to say it's so hard because it's not talked about in our culture.
Yeah.
It's
Can
not.
can I just ask a couple questions about
Go for it,
some of the different statements I've heard, and I just want to kind of reiterate them and put them back to you in the parts, just to let them
please.
know that they're on, that I'm seeing them. The very first thing I think that I heard you say about sex is love, and um, part of me wanted to stop you there and ask what that means. Um, I'm hearing some other. So I'm just calling attention to that. That is something that's kind of in front of me, highlighted as, what does it mean? Sex is love. How is that for you? What parts are up with that?
Yeah.
And then I hear you saying, I want to separate sex from love, which I'm also very curious about. What does that mean? Um, you know, uh, yeah. And then I'm hearing that you have a concern, or part of you is concerned. Well, maybe this is an addiction, and so yeah. I
Yeah.
guess um, I'm restating what I'm hearing, and maybe asking to slow down a little. You don't have to slow down for me, but
No,
uh,
thank you for slowing me down.
each of these points, I think, could be a really fruitful conversation to investigate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, this is the hard part. Like on MDMA, I just with Pao Chu, my girlfriend, she's just like, could you stop? I can't take this. Because I would just go on and on. And it's just almost like when I was high, um, in Las Vegas, and I've had a problematic relationship with weed. This last withdrawal was awful. I was suicidal a good part of it. And then, at the same time, now being outside of that, I just realized, it's the biology, dude. It is the biology. Because that's not me. When I took ketamine, um, I was also in marijuana withdrawal and I went to an infusion place. So I was really depressed. And I think it was a third infusion. And I was in the K hole. I don't know if you ever experienced it. It's like a
I have
swirling
not.
blackness.
Hmm.
And you almost feel like you're psycho. Like part of me was like, I'm not going to come back from this.
Hmm.
It's totally different than every other psychedelic I've taken.
Hmm.
It was scarier in a sense, but in ketamine, your emotions are kind of like put over in the corner in a
Hmm.
sense. And so like, even though you're having these thoughts, you don't have fear. But anyway, I heard these voices, and the voices were like, "Yeah, we're done with him. We can flush him down the toilet." It's like the universe, like celestial beings were saying, "Yeah, he's not going to reach his potential. And moreover, he's harming people.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of him."
Yeah.
And so I realized, my God, this is before I knew about IFS. Oh my God, there's a part of me that really that feels like that this and it's been like, when you look back in the past, you're like, yeah, I know that part. That part's been there a long time.
Yes. The one that believes it is worthy of being flushed.
Correct. That
Hmm.
the world would be better with be flushed.
Yes.
I told, for the longest time in therapy, I thought I shouldn't have been born.
Hmm.
That my mom should have had had an abortion and gone to Duke. So, this goes into the narcissistic parent thing because my mom's got some, what I believe is like benign narcissism, even though I don't like, again, I think narcissism is kind of like, isn't, it can really trigger people and you won't get to actual healing because it's the same thing with toxic.
I feel the same way, and I would ask, if I may, I would ask that part that offers up those labels for space
Yeah.
to let me listen to you on the other parts, because I'm not reading the same diagnostic book that it is, or any book, in what I'm in the presence I'm trying to bring here. And so when I hear something like, she's a narcissist, that that gives me some information, but it gives me just as much information that I don't know if I can trust, or
Right.
where is he getting his information about what that is? It's kind of like,
Yeah.
I want to know I want to know about your experience, and I want to know about
Y-
how you feel and how your
Yeah.
parts feel.
Yeah. I got a
Yeah.
part that says when you get labeled with that,
Hmm.
a part of you comes out with a defense because it knows all the counter evidence, you know,
Get
it,
labeled with what?
whatever it is, whenever somebody's trying to label you with something negative,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
got the counter, my mom's the same way. She'll defend herself so much. And I'm not saying that my assessment isn't valid for how I feel and how I perceive her. But as I talk with my mom more, I realize that our perceptions are so different, you know?
Yes.
And my mom, as I felt, has lived in a world outside of mine at times.
Hmm.
There was one time, oh my God, it was just after we had come back from a nice music thing, and her voice changed in a way I hadn't heard maybe ever, or maybe, no, it was right before she was divorcing my dad. She was that way too. It was like she had the adult in her kind of like came along, or just kind of rose up. But like, I was like, we were talking. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to my mom like an adult because she still calls me
Yes.
sweetheart and baby all and all this stuff. She still looks like I'm 45, but she, as Dick would say, a part of her sees me as I guess parents do that, but still sees me as a little kid. But getting back to the I guess the enmeshment, I guess maybe talk about more of what it felt like, or fusion between child and parent is how I've heard it before, by If the Buddha Dated, a really good book. Um, and so,
Okay.
yeah,
Every time there's a label, it trips me up a little bit. I'm not saying you need
mm,
to stop, and I would love to get to know the part,
yeah,
but it
yeah, yeah,
I have my own encyclopedia of what all those things mean, and what they might
yeah,
mean, and it it serves as it makes it harder to connect, um,
yeah,
with
right, yeah,
with what's going on inside you right now.
intimately, yeah. So
Yeah.
with my mom, okay, so the shaky voice is better, and I realized my figure it out part, my
Hmm.
my intellectualizer came along. So yeah, if we go back to when with my wife when she left,
Right.
um, uh, it was out of nowhere, and like I had no defense, and I didn't have the wherewithal to go. I did. I did do that to you. I hurt you so bad.
Okay.
And I was just so much in, my issue with attraction to women, and I hurt you so bad. I want you to know how much I know I hurt you,
Yeah.
And I feel that too. With I have
You
this.
feel what too?
I feel like she's. It's been a similar situation. Like sex is love. Is we're. She's. I'm giving it to her. I'm giving love to her. Giving pleasure to her. Sexual healing. I'm in the happy space after we have sex. I'm happy, and so I'm making each other happy, and gonna make a baby. And the baby is that's really where I want. I want the baby. I want to change as a man. Is on the Zen Center. My teacher, mentor, Ted, he said he had his baby, and he started sobbing. He completely was bawling, sobbing there, and it's the most impactful moment of his life. And he's away.
Can I just clarify real quick? You said that the girlfriend that you felt like she felt the same way, that she also felt like sex is love?
I didn't say that, but I believe she does. I believe she does,
Okay.
Yeah, I believe she does.
How would you feel about helping me understand what that means for you?
Yeah, I can do that.
And just learning more about helping me learn more about that part.
Okay. So
this is the part that says sex is love.
Yeah, sex is love. It's loving yourself. It is making yourself feel good, de-stressing. It's de-stressing, and it's turning off the pressure. It is turning off the pressure to get sex. It is turning off I got a part in me as a hunter, right?
Sure.
I got a part in me that is a hunter, and it is exhausting. It is very exhausting. Other men that I've been with, another guy, I forget who it was. Two other people, both resonated with this idea of it's exhausting. You're out.
Sure.
Yeah. At the Zen Center, he told me when he got divorced in his 40s, he just wanted to have fuck everything that moved,
Yeah.
And he said that wasn't the start. Even when he was young and married, he's still looking out at women. And so it's like if you get sex, that turns off. That is sated. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
Like this drive is kind of like, okay. It's there was another thing recently that might help understand it. Yeah, boring. So I have a part of me that is very bored with people. Very bored with people. Yeah, it's again, I had a therapist who told me it's hard. It's gonna be hard for you to make friends because you're so smart. And it's true. Like when I was at USC in grad school, string theorists, it was great. It was great. They're smarter than me, but it's like I've talked with people that are smart, and it's just like now I came to a realization. This bored part of me is not bored, and can enjoy people's company even when they're not maybe that interesting. Intellectually interesting, because my mind is like a fucking. It's like a fucking. It's like. Did you ever see Toxic Rick in Rick and Morty?
No.
That's how it is. So if you want to know, I told my therapist after I saw the episode, I was like, "That's me. I got that part inside of me. I've got Toxic Rick in me. Toxic Rick is like, I'm the fucking, if there is a God, it's me. I'm the smartest person in the world. Yeah. I can understand everything. I got that part in me." And it's so hard because it's not true. I'm not a genius, but because I can understand certain things at time, say if I took the limitless pill, and Bradley Cooper's movie, I can get there. And that's where weed helped. Weed, I was like, oh my God,
Can you tell me how the boring topic or part relates to the sex is loving part?
Yeah. So the boring part, what I realized, I was waiting to get some Chinese food, and I just realized, because I was thinking about dating. It's like, hey, if I'm going to date, I'm very bored often with the person, because we're not much sexually interested. I was like, how am I going to get around this, right? How am I going to get around this? And I thought, well, I'm high. Everything's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Everything's interesting on weed. Psychedelics too. On psychedelics, like when I microdose, it's like I'm softer and I'm more interested. Like my eyes are open. And, honey, I'm so torn because the you with the bright eyes. That's the part I love. I love you with bright eyes. You with heavy. You with a hopeless eyes, jaded eyes. That's where I'm like back to the trauma of first wife getting depressed. I'm like, this is happening all over again. I'm getting depressed. Just picking depressed people. Girlfriend between them was also depressed. My mom had said, there's this, I forget what it was. There's some writer who had a husband, Sophia Platt. She killed herself, and her husband had also two other women that killed themselves. It was like, honey, you might be attracted to depressed people. And when I'm Bufo, I realized, yeah, that's what I do. I pick, just like Dick says, you try to pick people that will redeem. In this case, it's my dad. My dad was depressed, and trying to find depressed women that I can heal. Captain Sabaho. Okay, so boring, yeah. Boring.
Yeah.
Boring
well, and connecting that to sex is love. And we don't have to stick on this point, but I was just wanting to understand one of them more fully.
Yeah. So the boring, what I realized, or figure it out part realized, that's the figure it out part is different than the assessor part. Figure it out part is just like the motor. It just likes to figure out, loves the insight. Insight's a drug. It really is. It's addictive. And so figure out part realized, yeah. So like on a date, if I'm there insecure, that's kind of when I'm bored, because the part of me that's insecure is saying I'm not doing well enough in my career or hobbies or other aspects of my life. This person has to make up for it. This person has to be interested enough to make up for it. So I'm like, if I can get my hobbies, get career, get that situated, then it's like I'm no longer bored, because now this is like extracurricular. This is just something else, and I can just be interested in this person for their stuff that has nothing to do with my value in the world, and whether or not they're going to bring me up or take me down. So, so how that relates to the sex and love is that, the bored part was really representing my needs aren't being met. I'm not getting my needs met in fulfillment in life in intellectual ways outside of this conversation, for example, or this date. And it's just like leaking into it essentially. So sex is love so sex is love is if I'm getting, sex is love is, it's representing, I guess the intimacy. This is a hard one. This is why it's been with me for so long. And the boring part kind of is like.
Can I make a suggestion? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for all that detail. I'm taking notes, and I'm hearing lots of parts, and I think they're all going to be great to get to know. I would like to encourage, or I feel like I could best support, if we were to do more of a kind of get to know a part approach.
Okay.
What I'm hearing and what it feels like to me is kind of a pretty rapid fire description of here's what I'm bored, here's what I'm figuring out, here's fuck everything that moves, and so is this other guy that I know, and sex. And again, like, I'm not complaining about that. And if that's what feels right for you for your process, I respect it.
Yeah.
But if there's an emotion, if there's a part that's the sex is love part, then one way that I could guide and support you is in getting to know that part.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. So,
If
well,
you'd like, and if that would
yeah,
feel right, and if it doesn't feel right,
yeah.
we can stop doing it, or however
No.
you can.
Well,
It's your call.
let's talk about sex then. Will that
Are we
work?
going to talk about sex, or are we going to talk about your feelings and your parts and how they are feeling about that?
Uh, okay. Right. So how do we get to this part then? Um,
Find it
okay.
in your
Let's
body.
go. Yeah.
Find
Right.
it in
Right.
your body.
Right. So it is, yeah, it's in the, so, you know, what's weird is, they're often like not they're constellational areas. Um, and, I mean, the vagus nerve is kind of like that way. So it's my heart and my stomach and my groin, you know,
Yes.
my, my, my penis,
Hmm.
and it is, and I mean, you don't have to get, that's like the physical thing of sex is love is my heart and my dick together. Uh, and tongue, you know, like, yeah, when I pleasure them, when
Hmm.
I massage them,
Yes.
you know, when they want me to go hard, you know,
Hmm.
um, it's like it's like I'm loving myself.
Okay.
Um, I'm loving myself and, and, them, it's like, oh God, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, because we had so much good. It was so nice. It was the best in public too.
The relationship or the sex?
The relationship in the first year and the
Hmm.
sex the whole way
Hmm.
through, except
Okay.
for a couple times when a part of me was like, this is not going to work. And
Yeah.
that part of me is the one that, yeah,
Kind of reflect back what I've
yeah,
heard so far from the sex is love part.
yeah,
Um, that love, it means loving yourself, and that's through de-stressing. It's through reducing the pressure from the hunter, and uh, sounds like it had
babies,
uh, okay.
babies, making babies,
Yeah.
making babies.
Have you had babies before?
Well, we started and then it died. In a miscarriage in December
Okay.
2023.
Okay.
Yeah, and I felt so good. I felt so great when we were pregnant.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, you know, it's when they're wanting you to have, and when they love you and they wrap their legs around your back, you know, it's
Yeah.
like they're loving you,
Hmm.
and and yeah, it's loving you, and you know, I
Yeah.
guess
And
part of
then the
me is
baby's
saying,
born, and then they're not interested in sex, and I wonder how that part feels in that stage. Is there
oh, it transfers.
okay?
For me, it transfers.
Hmm.
I don't know about the whole thing, what you're saying, because that wasn't true for my mom. Um, uh,
Uh, there's a lot of sleepless nights, and there's a lot of uh, stress when there's a new baby in the home.
sure,
Hmm.
sure. Yeah. And I tell you what, that's where, again, Esther Perel and all the people that are working on sex, they're like, yeah, this is where we got it backwards. You know, sex is healing. Sex is de-stressing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Not
and
arguing
like,
that.
yeah. Um, so,
I
where
was just
were we
wondering
at?
about. I was just wondering, kind of hypothetically, to this part that sees sex as love,
Yeah.
and also sees babies as love, making love in the world. Um, yeah. What is it? Does it have any just hypotheticals about
Not
when
love.
those
Yeah.
things?
Yeah. Wanted to stop having sex. I was like, I'm not being loved. I don't love. She doesn't love me. And it's true. She didn't. Part of her didn't love
Mm-hmm.
me. And
Mm-hmm.
I was critical. So there's a part of me that says it understands that part of her didn't love part of me.
Okay.
Um, and, uh, and she turned the sex off. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so hard. It was so
Yeah.
hard because we had sex twice a day for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
like clockwork. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And, and then and then and I started getting angry, and, my job didn't take off, and I was
Mm-hmm.
criticizing her, and her job was hard, and she was depressed.
Okay.
And so I wasn't feeling loved, and I would yell, and verbally
Mm-hmm.
abuse her. Um,
Okay. Can we get
um,
back to the sex is love part?
okay, yeah.
Can I ask you to can I ask you how you feel towards that part and see if we can assess your degree of self and showing up for this part in this
Yes,
conversation.
it's hard. My heart's beating a lot. Yeah, this is hard. This is difficult.
Yeah, I'm blending because I think even if I were to listen to this part for an hour,
Right,
I couldn't understand it as well as you could, as yourself
right,
could,
right,
and I sure as hell couldn't help it as well as you can.
right. So I do feel something, right? I do
Hmm.
feel some anger.
Okay,
I feel some anger towards it. That's kind of in my shoulders, head, and fists.
great, good noticing. Can we go there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm there.
Okay, okay. How do you
It's
feel
kind
towards the anger?
um, I kind of want to hear it out. I'm curious.
I would also like to hear it out. We let it
Yeah,
know that we're both curious.
yeah,
Yeah, let it know that it's welcome here.
yeah, yeah. Because it's been held back a lot um, by the firefighter. So there's a polarization between it and the firefighter who just goes on with the sex.
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
interesting. Right at the end of the last story, you were saying about how the anger came up and then made the sex go away. And yeah, I can hear that that's a complex dynamic there of yeah, just how anger can also affect the things that matter to the firefighter and the things that matter to the sex is love part.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you want to hear it out.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Yeah, I'll hear it out. It
Okay.
says it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and it's kind of angry at me
Okay.
um, for not reining in the indulgent part for sex, and
Hmm.
it's mad at me for getting into repeated relationships. And I'm getting a little nauseous actually. This is a tough pill to swallow. Um,
Take your time.
yeah, it's it's angry at me for jumping into sex so quick within
Hmm.
relationships, um,
Hmm.
and following this pattern. Um, uh, and then there's a part that jumps in and says, "Yes, but we love Pachu." So I just want to honor that part and say I hear it. Um,
Yeah.
just like it loved Kim.
Yep.
And even though it wants to come in and say, even though it started out super sexual with Kim,
Hmm.
I've developed love for her that wasn't directly tied to sex. Okay, so back
Okay.
to the angry part.
Hmm.
It's kind of raging at the sky. It's and now it's crying because
Okay.
it's uh it's been at a loss. It's been at a loss of how to manage things.
How do you feel towards it?
I feel some compassion. I really
Okay,
do.
Show it that.
Oh, it's really crying. It's really sobbing. Oh, these really are individual little personalities. Oh man, I'm gonna take some water. Hold on. Man, this stuff makes you dry.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And you know what's correct is I do see how um it rages up like it's an adult, like it's a man. And
Hmm.
then as it breaks down, it's not. It's not a
Hmm.
man. It's a young, yeah, it's I don't know, teenager.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'll just hold it a little bit.
Yeah. It's at a loss. It's mad about jumping into
God.
sex so quickly.
I wonder if they're blending now. I don't know. This feels like the two parts are I don't know, because it kind of like the angry part is kind of like as it's sobbing and as it kind of like leans back into my arms and like it's like spent and it like yeah, it just feels a little hopeless. It just feels like this is going to be my story.
Yeah.
Um,
Does that
and
make sense to you?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. There's been times, even my therapist, where I've told her, I get love addiction. I intellectually get all of it. I get the healing. I know one day, but there's parts of me that just think I'm gonna there'll be a level I can't get beyond, and I don't want to get beyond. If that makes
Okay.
sense. It
Yeah. And
doesn't.
so
Yeah.
this part, what this part is mad about is reasonable, and it makes sense to you, and you understand what it's so frustrated about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, it's tired.
Okay.
Oh god, yeah.
Is it
And I
aware of
just,
you? Is it
let
aware of you respecting it and caring for it in this moment?
me see. Yeah, it's kind of like pulsating its abdomen,
Okay.
as it kind of sobs into me, and
Okay.
does feel it feels held. It's funny. Just giving your awareness feels like an embrace. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Will you stay with that? Stay with
Yeah,
that awareness embrace.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, oh my God, it's just years,
Hmm.
years of flowing of this being, and the memories are. This happened in another IFS session I did where when the memories course through of all the times of all of it, it's almost overwhelming. It's hard to
Of all the
describe.
times that make it feel like this is going to be your story, because look at all the times.
Um, yes, yes, like
Okay.
yes, it's almost like it's taking the tragic role
Hmm.
in a play.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if it didn't do that, if it didn't get your attention that way, if it didn't care about this and get angry about this, what's it afraid would happen?
Okay, let me see. I continue to fall for women that I have to save and continue in a sex addiction. Um, and the negative consequences of that.
Yeah. What are
And
those consequences? Like what?
just feeling like I'm not going to be the person that I want my kids, that I'm not going to be these behaviors are not what I want my kids to feel that I didn't stop doing at a certain point when I had the
Mhm.
awareness. Does that make sense?
Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
Makes sense to me too.
Yes, this MDMA stuff is great because there's so much. I have so much defenses like about against talking about this normally because it's so it's so like not hopeful because the narrative is so baked in. By this point.
Okay. Just letting you know, I'm feeling open, compassionate, and not at all judgmental about anything you've shared.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, the latest thing that I was, this part was angry at me a lot, this past year, because the first year was great with Palchu, but I was high a lot. And so on two different things, infatuation, right? This is the love addiction cycle where you get infatuated. I mean, it's sex and love addictions, the 12-step group I went to. And so the sex gets you in there and hormones take over.
And just so you know, I would consider that another label that I'm not ready to subscribe to or even fully understand. So I don't know if you're a sex and love addict, and I don't even know what that means if you were. And I'm not. I don't want to take away your vocabulary if that's. You know, like, and I appreciate any part saying that. I'm just telling you. To me, I'm kind of shrugging when you say that and say, okay, maybe I don't. Or what does that mean? And maybe. Yeah. So I just want to let you know where
James,
I am.
You should train people. I just want to give props to you. And this is one thing where I had a boss once at my last company where he told me this ancient Roman thing when Roman wealthy people would send out somebody to another city and get things ready for them, like their herald. I like being a herald for people. And I think you could train people. And it sounds like some of it is like stuff that might be hard to teach, but it could be like where you are a supervisor and you're almost like when I took a pottery class and he put his hand over my hand to show me how to mold the clay. And only then when I got the physical thing, you could do that with people and it would dramatically change the IFS world.
Well, I think I am doing that with you and with people I work with directly, whether they have aspirations to be practitioners or not.
Yeah.
So thank you. And yes, let's train that awareness in you.
Yeah.
To heal and help those parts in you.
That was the part that talked there was my ambitious part. So I got a strong, ambitious part.
Okay.
Yeah. So where were we? I was,
I can tell you
the sex and love addiction. Yeah. So
you were, we were with an angry part and it was talking about not going to be the person that I want my kids to see and the hopelessness around that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know, it was angry at me this last year, because, you know, we got together well, and it was really sex, but I was high. So both on infatuation for this person. Cause you know, that's what I think it does is the baby aspect. The baby aspect is so strong for me. And it's like this one, go with this one, you know? And, and she wanted to have a baby. She said, if it happens, it happens. And I was like, fucking hell. Yeah.
And that is an invitation to do more fucking, isn't it?
Well,
to some parts. If someone says, "Hey, if it happens, it happens," then a part of me, at least, is hearing, I'll show you how to make that happen. Yes.
Yeah. and by the way, in the sex is love department, you know, that's a big element of it, of coming in somebody is so, it really is loving. And, you know, with my partners, they both said, all my partners, they said, it feels so much good when you come to me, you know? And,
so again, I'm trying to understand what it means when you in these parts say sex is love. And I hear you saying that act is loving. And I'm curious about that. You know, I want to understand. You also had a part of you that says you want to separate sex and love. And I think that, I'm just trying to understand in you what is love and what is sex, and which parts feel which ways about it. We were just with
Right.
an angry part that was saying, you know what, this degree of this sex or this drive or whatever is is going to be a detriment to my
Yeah.
children. This is harming me. And I don't know, is there more that part wants to say about?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and it's hard because there's parts that don't want to listen to it, that feel like, it's so narrow-minded.
Yeah,
But
let it know that we're looking out for that, and that's part of what I'm trying to do. And that at the moment it can have the floor and
okay.
speak to you directly.
Okay. Yeah. It's, yeah, because, um, you really find a person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life if you like them beyond sex. And if the sex isn't clouding your vision about who they are and who you are with them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
whether it be, or the big elephant in the room is codependence. And it's such a deep thing. And this part is also somewhat angry at me for stop going to my coda groups, but
Okay.
I don't think I was getting out. And there was another part. I don't know if it's the same part, but a different angry part against my sponsor. So I was trying to get him into IFS and he wasn't having it.
So this is the part that says that the sex clouds your vision. This is the angry part still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the figure it out part comes in so much and just kind of like blends
I'm
with
hearing
every
that.
other part.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
The codependence. Again, I don't have that. It's not in my. It's not in a frame. It's not in a frame that I use.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that makes me right and you wrong. I'm just saying that it doesn't.
Yeah.
It
Feeling
doesn't
needed.
add. It doesn't
Like
add
a parent,
to my understanding of this part.
So what'll help you is when you feel like you're a parent to the person. Like they're an adult, but you're taking care of them. Like you're one up. Like you're better than, better. You can take care of them. And it's, in retrospect, it is, you turn it off. You realize how it's disempowering. You realize how it's crossing a boundary.
I'm sorry. Are you explaining what your understanding of codependence is? Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking to the angry part, and
I think it is. The angry part is, was on board with that, with explaining it. Because that's one of the big negative consequences of all of this is where,
got it.
With my therapist, it's, picking someone you don't feel better than, one up on, like I'm going to be her teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to take on that role.
Okay.
I'm going to lecture to her and I
have a question. Is that related to sex?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Well, there is one aspect. Yeah. And this is where there's a part of me. Now I think the figure out part helps it out a lot. It might all be the figure out part, but there's a part of me that relates everything to sex. Everything to sex, because sex is babies, which is reproduction, which is life. Yeah. So for, in this case, being one up is being powerful, right? And being, grabbing the hair, pounding, right? Picking them up, throwing them around, wanting them to look up at me as strong and, and capable and not a little boy, right?
Right.
Not a weak little,
got it. It's like you said, being the parent, call me daddy, right?
No, not that far. No, it's always,
I'm not saying you do that. I'm just,
yeah. No, yeah. Call her daddy. That was a good show podcast for a while. Uh, yeah, the ambitious part, the
Mhm.
masculine part in me,
Mhm.
is definitely of that opinion that it wants to be seen as better, as more intelligent,
Okay.
as a god. Um, Fuck that. No, not a god. God's not the right word. People say that and goddess and all that bullshit. No, it wants to be seen as a capable person, as a leader of a family, and in the community, and around it wants to be looked up to by my partner. Um, and that I'm strong, mass and physically strong,
Sure.
and that comes with ravishing them, so that uh, that's from a Kotar, a court of thorn and roses, or whatever. Um, that that there is real truth to that. There is a lot of truth to the idea that um, this is baked into the not gender, but the what's the right word? The polarity, right? This
Yep.
using David Data's The Way of the Superior Man, the feminine, masculine polarity.
No,
That
okay. No
attracts the
argument
two.
from me. I
Yeah,
understand. Um,
yeah.
this part that's angry, how does it feel about mm, well, how you've understood it so far, and how would it feel about you uh, learning more about the sex is love or sex clouds visions parts?
Yeah, it feels like some pieces are being missed that will provide the shift. You know what I mean?
I
That will
don't.
provide the awakening, the awakening that this is hurting. Um, and oh, it says it needs to wrest power away from the other parts.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it needs, because like I have a impulsive part.
Yeah.
That's like the firefighter. That is I just worked with it the other day,
What
and
did it mean? What did it mean by pieces are being missed? Does it mean in our conversation we're
yes,
not go? Okay. What is it referring to?
uh, it's like Julian, and this is where it really hurts to hear this. There's a part of me that is like pain to hear this. Doesn't want to hear it from it. It's like Julian, and it hurts so much when people use my name, because it's like, Julian, you need to stop, or Julian, you need to. This is another part, or Julian, you really need to come to grips with what you're doing to yourself. That
Okay.
it's that part doesn't like that. It feels so. It feels so like telling it what to do.
Yeah. Ask
And
that one for space.
okay,
Let it know you see it.
I see you. I see
Yep.
you.
Yep. And
Yeah.
that's what we're doing here. We're trying to help parts not have to dominate each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a little space.
Yeah.
Or will you give me some space? It just wants to, before it gives space, it wants to
Mhm.
say it's not fair.
What's not fair?
Let me see. People don't know the whole story. Even this angry one doesn't know the whole story. That there's
That's
very,
true.
very, very deep layers
That's true.
that that go back to when I was a kid,
Yeah.
that they're treating me like an adult, but these parts are not adult.
That's true.
Um, and so it's almost like they're being mean to
Mhm.
these parts by saying Julian, and talking to them like they're an adult.
Yeah. Yeah. And the angry
It's,
part was kind of in that camp also, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Let it know you see that.
I see that. I see that. I know that hurts.
Yeah.
And I know that you feel it's very unfair, because they're acting like they are better than me, and
Yep.
that they know um, um, that they are going to abandon me.
Yeah.
That's what hurts. Is it
Yeah.
feels like it's an ultimatum. Julian, you need to do this. And also saying that is kind of like the implication they're implying I was bad.
Right. Yeah.
Which is devastating for this part.
Send that part your compassion.
Yeah.
Let it know that it's important.
I'm going to say to you what Dad said to us. You're not a bad kid. You just do bad things. You know, that was so helpful.
Who are you saying that to?
I was telling him to this part that feels like it's unfair and feels like the angry part saying Julian to it and telling it needs to stop, or I need to wake up, or I need to do this. It says it's not fair, and I'm telling it. Dad said, "You're not a bad kid. You just do bad things."
Okay,
sometimes,
that's what Dad said.
Yeah, sometimes, And it was after
Yeah.
it was true. I brought a knife to school.
Sure.
Brought a big knife to school.
Yeah. The angry part was concerned that we would be missing some things, and I wanted to just make sure that I understood.
Right. Okay. So
what that meant.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll ask it. Don't say Julian's because don't need to. Because then again, it's like, oh no, let me listen. You say what you want to say. You say what you want to say, and I can hear you and validate what you are. And so, yeah, it's saying, well, now it's softened. What the hell? Now I closed my eyes and I sank back into it. And, well, when I say what the hell, I guess I'm wanting too much self energy. I often wonder though, when I started this MDMA, I was like, okay, it's giving me less self energy. And I started to feel like maybe myself, this capital S, isn't what I thought it was. Because it started feeling so gentle and so allowing and so just like, you don't have to be any way. This doesn't need to go the way you think it needs to go. There's so much like, not like grandmama, like, my grandmother who was, well, no, it wasn't like the way she said. It was like the way she comforted. She would comfort me, tuck me into bed, and yeah, Diane Poole Heller wrote this book, Healing Your Attachment Wounds, and she said, try to find those people in back in your life who gave you kind eyes or something like that. And so for me, I thought of self as a grandmother, but also, yeah, old people that are this sense like, you've seen everything. And you're going to go through your hardships, but when you're 80, you're going to laugh. You'll cry, but you also laugh at how important you thought everything was. I have this little pamphlet by St. Francis de Sales that says, when you have to go, when you have to die, you're going to look back at all your little toys that you did and realize they were not that important. And you'll just be glad you're a child of the Catholic Church and that and that was so nice from this part. And it so much feels like self. I read it every day. And it's so healing. I love that people, part of me is like, people overuse that word, I don't know what we're talking about, but it's really healing's a feeling. When I hear people say that was healing, I'm like, yeah, it's a feeling. The feeling of okayness. That's what it is. Healing to okayness, It was a great book I never read. My therapist said, it's great. Well, I'm okay, you're okay. Yeah. Oh, I miss Pachu. I miss Pachu. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Did the angry part have more it wants to say about what we might miss? Because we were with it, and it was giving us a lot of information, and I want to make sure that we're not blowing past that. If
I don't know. It almost feels like it's blended with another part. It's kind of, tried to calm it down, if that makes sense. And tried to say like they like two parts like holding their shoulders, one part holding with the angry part, and the angry part's kind of crying. And it's like he kind of regrets saying Julian need to be a certain way. It's just more about saying, Julian, here are the consequences.
Right.
Here's even more, talking about role reversal. Here's
It's there
what it
for
was
good
like,
reason.
Yeah, it's there. When, last year when I was deciding to break up with you over and over, it would tell me, you'll find somebody that you love, that you won't have any, that you won't have any big reservations about, then you'll just look at them with love, and it'll be this feeling you see people have, you know, um, and of course, another part would go like, I don't know about that. I might not. I might not.
Okay.
And by the way, learning to love somebody is loving who they are. So it's going to be no matter who they are. But it wants to say that angry part says yes. And then there's codependence. And then there's in the sense that some of the healing to these parts, this is why you were you were the one we've been waiting for. So great. Needs to come not in couples therapy, but in self therapy. Do the U-turn, look at yourself. And, and, um, and so it's like this alone time is really good. And, and it's telling me, I need to watch it with sex too. That I'm not just, going for sex when, to dull the pain, and sitting in the pain and doing this work with it is the transformative process.
Mm-hmm.
And the benefits are so the liberation and growth, and the just feeling whole and happy, and that you weren't lying to yourself or living in delusion or letting these parts take over that have such fear of being abandoned or fear. Um, mm, um, um, uh, okay, here's one. It says, I need to talk about, at least, doesn't know what to do, but at least need to talk about, that, so much of why I want Palchu is because of how good the sex is.
Okay. You ready to go to that part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that part. Oh yeah, hell yeah, that part loves talk.
Now, is this the
Yeah.
same one that says the sex is love?
No.
Okay.
Or they're close kins, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're like buddies. So for a while I had, the sex part was visualized, as a wolf. This
That's the
part,
hunter?
uh, yeah, yep,
Okay.
that's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I forgot that. It was a wolf. Yeah, because when I was in the sauna, I'm like, what is this part of my groin, right?
Okay.
And just went to it, and it started howling,
Hmm.
howling like a wolf, and kind of a growl, a deep guttural growl,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
and of not of anger, of intensity. You know what I mean?
Yep. Okay.
And so if I go to that part, let's see. Now that part's weird, It's like it's in my groin, and we already talked about it stomach, but now it's also in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, yeah, it said, it's just the sex was so damn good.
Yep.
And she opened me up in a way nobody else had to being my masculine self.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, Yeah, they say the word dominating. Dominating doesn't feel right. What feels right is
I
leading,
can,
leading. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I can hear the word dominating without having a value judgment or a moral judgment about it. You know, there can be a,
Thank you,
yeah, I think you're right.
because I have a,
Le-
I have, yeah,
leading in the dance. Yes,
right,
that's a fine
right.
word for it. Yeah, I understand.
But as I get to it, dominating is more accurate.
Sure.
So there was a part that doesn't like BDMS stuff because it associates it with trauma.
Hmm.
As people, Dr. Drew once said that, the kink stuff
Hmm.
is kind of intended to keep away intimacy because a lot of people have difficulties in intimacy. And I can tell you, there's a part of me that sees sex as love, wants to say that, like when we've had sex after a deep emotional moment, maybe even cried, um, it's a very different sex than the one the wolf likes. So this is why they're different, right? The
Okay.
sex is love versus the wolf.
Yeah.
Um, and so the sex is love one says, it's so much better. It's
Yeah.
so much better.
Can we stay with that one?
Oh, the sex is love one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so much better. We did LSD, or I was on a little LSD, and we were
Hmm.
making love,
Hmm.
and, um, and we had sex, and we were in each other's consciousness. We were
Hmm.
like missionary and slow, but she's like, let him go slow. And I'm like, yeah, and we're slowly looking at each other. And like all of a sudden I was like, I'm I'm in you, you know? And she goes, yeah, I'm in you too. And it felt so good. It felt it
You
felt
stay with
so
that?
yeah, it felt
Ask it for space. Ask it not to blend or overwhelm you with that. Let it know you're trying to understand
yeah, okay.
what that feeling is and what's, yeah,
It's the
and really
heart.
understand it.
It's the
Yeah.
heart. It's a glow in the heart. It is it is a vibratory filling up of the heart and my head
Yes.
and courses down my spine
Yeah.
and it's like a what's the word when it's like a vibration that goes brrr, like a cat purring
Yeah. Yep.
and it is the whole it's like my eyes get uh
Yeah.
my third eye gets
Great.
starts
Yeah.
starts vibrating and
Does that make sense to you?
totally
Great.
it's something
Let it
super
know that
spiritual.
yeah, let it know that you see that very spiritual, deep
Yeah,
connection and integration in each other's consciousness.
yeah, I have to ask, there's a part that wants to come in and talk about um um how it's a drug. uh um yeah, that part just wants to join the conversation, and I wonder,
Yeah. Well,
I kind of have another part that says it doesn't want you to join the conversation.
let it know that that it can speak, that it can be welcome later. And right,
Okay.
and we're trying to
Yeah.
learn from this part.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, thank you. We'll honor you. And I'll,
Yeah.
yeah. And by
I
the
mean,
way, yeah.
you're experimenting with your consciousness and drugs in this moment. So I think we understand. I think we understand some degree of that there can be a
Yeah.
connection there, right?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that part is even laughing. Even
Yeah.
that part is like, oh, yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. And this is where I wanted to talk to you and tell you this, that, um, there's an embarrassment coming into these sessions, uh, of, there's a part that feels embarrassed, right?
Okay.
That, under these states, people are going to look at me um, as a not, together person, as my mom had an aunt who was schizophrenic. Um, and, um, I carry this day to day
Okay.
because I am
Is
so
it concerned
disciplined.
about what's this level of concern about me having seen you that way?
No, nothing for you. It's for the
Okay.
viewers. And so I
There
kind
aren't
of,
any. It's just you and
yeah,
me.
yeah. Well, it kind of wants to tell the viewers. Does that
There
make
aren't any.
sense?
There
I
aren't.
know, but
We don't have them.
I know, but I'm saying it wants to say when, if this does get viewed, but I hope it does, it wants to let everybody know that, Julian is in a different state of mind and, different state of consciousness. And, his normal self is more put together, um, is, you know,
Okay. Okay.
you worry about losing your job, stuff like that.
And this part
Um,
believes that by doing that, the people who were going to judge you as not together are now they go,
it's
okay.
educating. No, this part wants to educate this world as this is a case study and an example. If they were to see me, like when I was talking to Dick or other places where I've been on video, uh, look at those as my normal me, and this is me under the effects of a strong entheogen. Um, that's what it is. It's an entheogen. Brings you closer to God. Um, so yeah, okay. So that part feels good. So now we were talking to. Can you help me?
Yes. Uh, we were acknowledging the sex is love part, talking about the depth of connection, vibration, and being in each other's conscious
Yeah,
when you are.
yeah,
And
and
yeah, just showing it that you understand that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that, and it kind of wants to say, yeah, yeah, this is me. You know,
Okay.
this is
Okay.
me.
Yeah. Great. Let it know you want to get to know it, because we also heard some other things that we were attributing to it, and maybe we can check them out. Is that sex is love isn't just about uh, let's let's merge consciousness, but
Yeah,
it's also about de-stressing. It's also about keeping the hunter at bay.
yeah. It wants to thank you, like, or
Uh-huh.
parts of me want to thank you because this is such a rare experience. They talk about holding space.
Mhm.
That's what this is. This is what this is. You don't have agenda. You don't need the angry part to figure, to tell the other parts you got to get in line or you're never going to find love, you know? Um, yeah. So this part, it feels like it's like kind of like rolling on the comfortable bed, and the pillow is saying,
Mhm.
finally, yeah, somebody will validate me and I won't feel like such a fucking sex addict or pervert or,
Yeah.
it's tough. It says it's so tough because I do make a lot of jokes and it is on my mind all the goddamn time.
Mhm.
Um, and it's been trouble for Kim, she would tell me, you have to stop.
How do you feel towards it?
A little overwhelmed, a little,
Okay.
well, I also feel very like I also feel very encouraged. Is that a word? I feel very like, hell yeah, speak your truth. Um, I feel, I feel, um, cheerleading, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
for it.
Ask it not to overwhelm you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask it not to overwhelm you,
Yeah.
and let it know that we want to know its truth in a deep way.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Cause that's the thing. There's a figure it out part of me wants to explain. That's my mom. My mom will just go on, and she'll go, and people need to say, would you slow down? Or, and I often tell her, Mom, you're not letting me get a word in edgewise. And so that's what I'm doing. If I go off like that, that's my mom. I'm my mom. Um, okay. So yeah, I just want to say it's me and it doesn't want to feel guilty about being me and very sexual. And, um, I don't know if it's this part or another part, but it's often
Mhm.
taking on the role of trying to
Yeah.
change the world. Just taking on
Okay.
the world one sexual a reference at a time.
Yeah. Can we back up to the it's me?
Oh yeah, It's
Yeah, let it
me.
know let it know you see it, and let it know that it's a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a part of you.
Yeah. It's in my heart. And,
Hmm.
yeah, it's in my heart and my throat. It's like,
Yeah.
geez, it's actually in my arms now too.
Okay.
That's the part that's the part loves the massage.
Sure.
That's the part that loves to,
Are you able to see it as a part of you, and are you able to show it that, to hold that mirror up to it and let it know that it is one part of you among many?
let me see. Yeah. Cause I was kind of, going into it for a moment, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
um, because the visualization is so nice, you know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah, it kind of feels as I step back from it a little bit and feel it, it feels like vibrating in
Yes.
me, like it's given new energy. It's
Hmm.
given kind of like um full reign, full, you know, full
Yeah.
reign to kind of like flex itself.
Yeah.
And it just roared at the sky.
Okay.
Like, yes, this is my truth,
This
you
is this
know?
part's truth.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
it,
what I'm hoping to highlight.
yeah. And it's kind of like, it's kind of eyes go back in the back of its head. It kind of has some euphoria, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
as it's kind of like
Let it know
leaning
it's
back.
okay for it to be that way, but
Yeah.
also that it isn't all of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it knows that it feels the other parts and it's felt
Right? But
pressure.
sometimes it takes over, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I get the sense that it feeds the wolf. Like, it's like, yeah, I can see that now. They're a team
Right.
that
Right.
the wolf will kind of like, yeah, we need this specialness. The wolf is like, you know, yeah, we need this specialness that the sex will offer that, you know, this getting close to God, you know,
Mhm.
um, 9 Inch Nails closer, right? Because, okay, there's a figure it out part that says that, you know, that's why they're called spirits. Alcoholics who drink because they would get close to God. That's how I was on weed and sex, masturbation, masturbation. You know,
Okay.
when I
And we
found
have an
masturbation,
will you let him know that you also have an angry part who made a very good case that when these parts take over, you get further away from quote God, that you're becoming less of the full person, or the person that you want your kids to see, and that angry part had a good point about that. And I'm not trying to diminish these parts or say that what they're doing isn't in the spirit, but I think what I am trying to do is highlight the separation here between yourself and your many parts.
okay, so this was good because like I could visualize as you were talking the response of the sex and love part,
Hmm.
and it kind of like trying to show the mannerism, but it kind of was like it was euphoric before you were
Hmm.
talking, and then it
Yes.
kind of like kind of settled back, sat down on a stool or something,
Yeah.
crossed one, you know, one hand on its face, one hand
Yeah.
crossed, and was like, okay, I got to think about
Yeah.
this. I
Yeah.
got to consider this because,
Yeah.
yeah,
And again, I don't mean that to put it down, or to say that sensation of closeness to God or euphoria that comes with sex of various types is invalid or anything. I'm not saying that at all.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right, and yeah, yeah, and I think it's more amenable. They both were thinking. Actually, I could hear them both thinking the the sex is love part and the wolf part because I had done this work with them the other day, and and it was a thing about like um that they need my help, right?
That's right.
That they need me to um still get the sex, but not with the negative consequences, not with the indulgence to.
So they're an acknowledgement of there can be downsides. This can,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. And the wolf part, okay, so the wolf part wants to chime in.
Okay.
The wolf part says he's kind of been left out of all of this.
Yes. Yeah. Will you let him know that I was aware of that, and I was aware when I was guiding you towards the sex is love part that I was kind of cutting it short, the wolf part.
Yeah. And he was okay with it.
It was a conscious decision for me to try to stay on track with this part that we originally targeted. And a big reason that I made that decision is because I understand my own wolf part so well that that yeah, and I don't understand the sex is love part in you as well as, so yeah, I was kind of making some assumptions that like the fuck everything that moves part in you is probably a lot like the one in me.
Yeah. And yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny. It kind of acknowledges that the wolf part is like, yeah, I am kind of unidimensional. But it did want to chime in with something that said it's like not unidimensional.
Okay.
And that's where it's like, that's where it's kind of been intrigued by things like non-monogamy. And he got shot down, right? He was interested and he got shot the fuck down by, yeah, it was probably the angry part or the lecturer part that goes on about codependence and addiction.
Sure.
Sure. And he's kind of, I can now maybe see for sometimes why he acts out is because I'm not being fully.
The wolves are always being shot at.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. But
no, thank you.
It's not just the part. It's not just the parts in you, right? It's every woman who says no thanks or get the fuck away from me. It's culture. It's
culture.
Yeah, I mean
that's the
everywhere.
big thing. That's the big thing, and that's where it's like I have a friend at work who's E&M, ethical non-monogamy, and I was like, oh really? Oh shit, what is that about?
Wolf part.
Yeah, the wolf part was super interesting.
Licking his lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had, I remember a day he was just like pulsating. Like I was sitting at work, bored as hell in a meeting. And he just started imagining. He was like, oh my God, this stripper that's really into us. So we've been going to strip club. What if I
play my cards right?
What if I asked for an open relationship?
Yep.
And
Clever
he started,
wolf.
right. And I got to tell you, he, like the feeling inside of me was like I had distorted cocaine or something like that. I never really had, but I can just imagine because my heart started pounding and I was like, oh my God.
Holy shit.
this would be a smorgasbord.
Right.
Right. This would be a buffet.
Totally get it.
And he is like, by the way, we're making up for years of no sex.
Sure. Why stop at two at a time?
Right. Hey, I didn't have sex until I was 23, and then I didn't have sex for real, like with a person, make love until I was 29. And so that's why I told Kim. That's why he was, or parts were telling Kim, it's like, honey, I need to have a lot of sex with you because I didn't have sex for years,
Okay. Clever wolf.
And
she believed that?
No. And I also, he feels guilty about this.
Okay.
He said to her, I think it was him. He had said to her, I need you to help me with all this temptation that I'm having with other women. I need you to
Mm-hmm.
dress more sexy, right? So that, because
Yeah.
I'm seeing all these women dress sexy. We were
Yeah.
on university campus. I was a postdoc, and my God, the fucking Lululemon yoga pants everywhere.
Got it.
And I was like, hey, maybe if I get you these yoga pants, would you want to wear them? You look great, you know? And she's like, you're comparing me to women. You're comparing me to other women. And that hurt her a lot. So
yeah. And this part's saying, well, yeah, I'm thinking about other women. I'm trying to be monogamous here and also and honor this part that wants to fuck all the other women.
right. And it's
Yeah.
hard, and it's hard that we
Yeah.
were at a Halloween party, and this African American man was talking to me. Well, and he's like, man, I guess in his relationship he wasn't getting much sex. He's like, man, they want you want to just like be there and not get sex and not have any extramarital any you know, what are you supposed to do, you know?
Yeah.
He's like maybe he got caught cheating. He's like, you know, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm with you. I mean, I haven't cheated, but I've been so close.
Yeah.
Like if I was a charismatic man, like there was one time we
Can
were having
we
a fight. Yeah.
would it be all right if we try to get back to the sexist love part?
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to brag for a second, like, hey, there's one chick that loved me.
Again, that's kind of why
Yeah.
I would cut the wolf part short earlier, is because
Yeah.
I can do that too all day. We can talk about all the it's kind of
Yeah.
I get it.
And you know, it's okay. Before it goes, it just wants to say that is why it brings it up so much with my friends. You know, and some of them are like, you talk too much about sex. And it's like, because there's not a forum for it.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. Let them know you see that. Let them know you see that.
I do. Because you're like, there's not a forum.
Right.
And
everyone sees the wolf as a monster and nothing else. Right.
And and he's just doing what grandfather did. You know, he's just being like grandfather. Which grandma loved. She had no problem with how much he did all that stuff. And that's kind of like what I want, you know? Kind of wants somebody like grandma, you know?
Okay. Okay.
And that's that going to sex. Okay, we'll go to sex and love part. He chimes in and says, yeah.
Well, are you open to a little questioning or maybe
pushback go
there?
For it.
Yeah. Somebody's saying that's what grandma loved. And I don't know how well you knew your grandmother and all of the parts that she had around grandpa also. So I just want to.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she loved it. I'm saying she tolerated it.
Yeah. Well, and this brings us back to really what my original question is all about is what is love? Because hey, this is what grandma loved. Well, it's what grandma tolerated. Hey, sex is love. Well, there's merging consciousness, and then there's fucking, and then there's this and this. And so I would love to get back to the part that was the kind of sex is love. And maybe they all have their different versions of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, what I'm still curious about and haven't heard explored is some of those other aspects of the sex is love, like it's de-stressing, it feeds the wolf and calms the wolf. And what else, and what else?
Yeah, it's weird.
Is what I want to learn from that part.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of a duo there where I think the sex and love part, it says at times it's been he hasn't been happy with the wolf part. And he realized the wolf part kept him from love.
Right.
And it was just lust.
Okay. So we're hearing from the sex is love part saying, you know what, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you to that part.
Yeah, thank you. And he says that is the two sentence thing, right? Sex is love, but sex can be love and sex cannot be love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Can I offer something that just came to me?
Yeah.
I think anything can be love and anything can not be love.
Yeah. Oh, there were times I didn't love how true, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we
Yeah.
can do just about anything with love and share love in the way we engage in just about any interaction.
Yeah.
And we can also do it without.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell from the outside, or
Oh,
some parts
yeah.
can be unsure because
Yeah.
they're more focused on other needs and other ways that they're trying to, other
Yeah.
games they're playing or whatever else.
Yeah. You're right. There was a game I was playing last year.
Hmm.
Um, like, don't, like, save me, you
Yeah.
know? Save me. I'm going through this withdrawal and, I'm suicidal.
Right.
And, if you leave me, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Right. And it would be loving for someone to save you from suicide, right? Like
Yeah.
that could be done with love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. How true had been that she had,
Right.
I felt that, I felt the caretaking part of her
Right.
and I was turned off by it a lot,
Hmm.
at times, but there was, well, again, part of me was turned off by it. Part of me was like, yay, yay. She's, you know,
Yeah. She cares.
she's so sweet.
Yeah.
Um, it's like
And
two little,
what?
and I was like we're two little kids.
Yeah. And I was also just thinking about it. This kind of being in the realm of sex or sex is love part. It's also seeing save me from suicide with sex, or
Yes,
let that be part of the saving.
yes,
Right. Right.
yes. Because
Right.
when I wasn't having sex, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I said, I was ugly duckling, or I didn't tell you that, but I was
Yeah.
a ugly duckling.
Hmm.
Um, and uh, I was mad at my dad because he didn't teach me how to date, um, and meet girls, and I had a lot of low self-esteem. It's funny, I
Yeah.
flipped it. I flipped at some point where, um, I was
See
really
if you can.
depressed and low
Yeah. See if
self-esteem.
you can just find the parts in you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, um,
The combination or the connection between I'm feeling suicidal and something can save me,
right, yeah,
and and yeah, and how that relates to sex.
yeah. Okay, closing my eyes.
Yeah.
I think I should like put on blinders for all of this because when you close your eyes, when you open your eyes, the thinking part goes, the figure it out part goes. When I close my eyes, I'm more in the body. And, it's my Terrence McKenna said, 5 grams in silent darkness. So here, she'll make me feel worthwhile that
Hmm.
somebody loves me.
Yeah.
And, because I was so afraid if I break up with her, right?
Hmm.
Um, then, I'm proving that, um, I can't love. Um, and, as time went on, it got worse. Um, and I started getting less suicidal because the withdrawal started to wear off. Um, it lasted months. Um,
How would it feel for you to try to connect with that part that believes that I can't love? It has a fear that I
yeah,
can't love.
yeah. Okay. Let's find
Okay.
that part.
Slow it down. See if you can find the part that believes if I break up with her, this proves I can't love.
So let's see. I'll tap into memory. That's okay. When this part was most present. See if I can find it. I've just done something that a part of me was just, oh crap. She's messed up. This is not going to work. And I went upstairs and, we're at my sister's place and I just laid down because, I just felt so hopeless.
Okay.
And she came upstairs. She knew something was wrong. We had sex 3 times. And this is a really good memory because it reloops it all. We had sex 3 times and went to sleep, but I couldn't sleep because I was just like, I don't love her, you know?
Yeah.
And I went downstairs and my mom was sleeping on the couch and I was having an anxiety attack.
Okay.
And a shame attack too. I was
How do you
like,
feel towards that part?
compassionate for it.
Okay.
I want to hug it.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Go
want to hug it.
slowly. Go slowly. Check if it wants a hug.
Yes.
Okay. Go slowly.
Yes.
Yep.
It's sobbing.
Okay. You
It's
stay with it.
shaking and sobbing. It's
Yeah.
cold.
Stay with it.
Yeah. Its whole body is shaking.
Okay.
Yeah. It feels so old.
Yeah.
It feels so old and hopeless.
Yeah. Let it know you're here. It doesn't have to be alone, and that you want to understand it.
Yeah. It's hard to talk for it.
Yeah. I'm going to invite you to not speak out loud if that feels right. I don't need any story. What matters is your witnessing and connection with it.
Yeah, I'm holding it. Our foreheads are touching.
Great.
I'm holding
Just
it
stay there.
tight.
Just stay there with
gripping
it.
me. Yeah, it's gripping me so tightly.
Yeah.
It's gripping me so tightly, and it's shaking and crying and
yeah. Stay with it.
yeah. It's had no support. I haven't been there for it. I'm so afraid of it, or parts of me are so afraid of it.
That's right.
Because it's and the thing is, right now I'm so strong. I can hold it.
Correct.
I'm
Let it know this is yourself, and that you know how afraid other parts are of it.
Yeah,
Or that you're coming to know that.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like a cancer.
That's right. Ask it how it feels about itself. Let it know you really want to understand.
It feels unlovable.
Okay. Can you stay with that?
oh my God,
Just stay
there's
with
like
it.
no, yeah,
Let them know it's really important for you to understand what it's like for this part, how it's
oh my
been.
God, my heart is beating fast. It's hard.
Okay, you all right with it?
Yeah, hold on, let me get some water.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's
And let those other parts that are afraid of it, let them know that you're here.
yeah, they look at it with pity, but also a little contempt.
Sure. Yeah, just
Um,
let them know that you're here with it, and you're just gonna spend some time alone with it,
yeah, I'm holding it.
and that it's okay with you.
Yeah, yeah, it just wants to be held. It just wants to be held. It wants to be held, and it wants to fall asleep. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
We just let them know that it's really important. It's a really important part of you.
yeah. It feels like it just feels like it's a hindrance, like it's a burden.
Yeah.
I'll let it know
Well, and
that,
it's feeling like it's a burden is also really important,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
when I say it's important, I don't mean hey you're wonderful. I mean the way you feel and what you've been through and your
yeah,
experience is important to the whole system, and it's
yeah,
important to self.
yeah. And so right now, it's I'm holding it,
Hmm.
and it's kind of got in the corner of its mind or attention, the
Hmm.
assessor part,
Hmm.
and it's kind of saying this pain I hold is what you need to learn from.
Okay. See if you can close the blinds on the assessor part. Tell the
Yeah.
assessor part that
No, no,
right
no.
now.
I'm saying no.
I know.
The
I
hurt
understand.
part is talking to the assessor part.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
See if you can get some separation so
Oh,
that you
that's
can.
hard.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because
Okay, I'll ask them
the
to
hurt.
like.
Yeah, the hurt part's experience of the assessor is really important for us to learn from it. But we can do that best if they're in very separate places, because the assessor has been assessing uh, and had its eye on this part, right, and back and forth. Just see if you can get some
Yeah,
space.
yeah. Well, yeah, and the assessor part, it feels guilty.
Okay, let it know we
Um,
can be with that.
yeah, yeah.
Ask it for space.
Okay. It says it does love the hurt part.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll ask it to get some space, and
Yeah.
just I'll
Yeah.
tell it's just so I'll tell it to like go on a jog, and go on a jog down the trail, on the lake or something like that, and because we can let this one feel like it's like the center of attention kind of deal, and yeah, uh, okay, so it's going. I mean, I don't know. This one's been so hard to ever step back fully. Um, but yeah, okay. Okay, I think the hurt part's a little more calm. Yeah, it just wants its pain to be felt.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even, you don't even know
Right.
how deep of a pain that is to feel like you'll never be loved.
Will you acknowledge that to it?
Yeah.
Acknowledge the degree of your understanding
like,
of this part.
It's heartbreaking. It's like you feel your
Show
heart
it that.
crack.
Show it that.
Yeah.
Show it that you can understand when it shows you in this way.
Yeah. I feel it.
Yep.
I feel it. It's like a vibration down my whole body when I feel it, that it like runs everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of pulsating. Body is shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just stay with it. Let it know it's really important for you to understand what it's been like for this part, that there's no hurry, and that you are able to get space from the assessor. You are able to get space from other parts and be with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's resting its head on my chest.
Yeah.
His head on my chest. I'm holding him. Very platonic Greek love. And I do love him.
Yes.
Yeah. And he feels like, yeah, he's looking at me and he feels the love. It's touching his heart. Yeah, I think he's calmed down. And yeah, he likes to take a nap.
Yeah, and maybe that's what's best. Because usually when I'm with people or doing my own work and I meet a part like this, an exile, there's a lot to learn and a lot to be with.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, the work I do, and I do come to sometimes something that feels like him. It's never the full him. It's never the full, oh my God, I'm not going to ever be loved. And that is such a possibility, because he has it as a possibility. Whereas the other parts of me like, no, I'm going to find love,
Right. It's the other parts that keep you from experiencing and understanding the full him.
Yeah. Right.
Even the parts who make that their job, the assessor, for example, who's all about understanding, any other part makes it harder to or exiles this one. It makes it keeps that deeper experience from self-awareness. We just want to acknowledge that.
And he wants to say the reason why. He knows why they do.
Yeah.
Because after we had sex 3 times and realized I don't love her. And he felt so bad. He's like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I love somebody,
Right.
And I went down to my mom and she was sleeping on the couch. And I just laid my head on her lap and I cried and cried and cried. And he feels like he can only do that with mom or maybe my therapist or under Bufo, for sure under Bufo.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if he were to do that, he'd be seen as such a little weakling.
Right. How do you see him?
I see him as an adult. I see him as, it's weird. I'm visualizing him as an adult.
Show him how you see him. Show him how you see him as a full, valid, genuine, and what he thinks others and maybe others do see as a weakness, it's a burden.
Yeah. Yeah. He's I see him as like a Greek tragic figure. And he holds sorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
He holds sorrow.
Right.
And he is the one to, you know, make sure it's felt. Make sure that I'm not diverting or distracting, and that it's a truth.
Right.
That to
Yeah.
be unloved and unloving is a horrible state.
Right.
It is such a disconnected, isolated, lonely state.
Absolutely.
And
of course, there are parts that would want to distract you from that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And he also knows that part of the reason they want to distract from it is because of the mama's boy thing of like, I get to fully come out like that, my vulnerability, when I'm with my mom, you know, or with a therapist. It kind of becomes your mom for some people. And he's like, you're just a little, you know, people would see that as, you know, you haven't cut the cord, you know?
Yeah. So I understand that. Show him the cord that you have with him.
Yeah, that's heart to heart. That's eyes to eyes. Yeah, I have a heart cord to his heart, my heart, and I have arms that hold him, and hands that grip his hand and squeeze tightly. Yeah, and strong back. I have a strong back that is with his. Yeah. And you know, it's difficult because you get this label of narcissism, but I love him and I love myself, and that can be hard when people say
I don't know who's bringing a label of narcissism.
People have.
Okay. Yeah. Acknowledge that there are people in the world that will not that will never understand your connection with your parts, that will never understand your parts the way that you can, and that you even have your own parts that might label other parts in you and others narcissists and anything else.
Yeah, they're the ones that have been trying to correct things, right? By saying, you know, if it is narcissistic, then it's hurting other people, and we can maybe look on rounding off those edges, you know, and look where it crosses from self-love into grandiosity or thinking you're better than other people.
They all have good intentions.
Hot shit. Yeah.
But yeah, when you're alone with this part, in this moment, there's no narcissism.
Yeah, I'm just gazing on him with, like, you know, appreciation and love, for lack of a better word. You know, when you said, what is love?
Yes. Yeah, no, that's the word.
Yeah, I don't have sex with him. I don't.
Precisely.
I just want to hold him and listen to him and hear him out.
Precisely.
And let him know that he's okay the way he is. So I just had a big deja vu moment. Wow, I've done this before. Wow, he's okay the way he is. That's what self does. Self lets you know you're okay with this. You're okay the way you are. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it in the. It's not a label. It's not a prescription. It's not a caretaking. It's not saying, "Hey, you're all right."
Mm-hmm.
It's through self-understanding. You know, it's a deeper appreciation. It's showing you that you're okay the way you are, not telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that we have flaws, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean that, you know, that we're not being aware of the negative consequences, but that yet you're not a bad person. You're not something we need to flush down the toilet, or even parts of ourselves need to flush. That's been a hard part at times where it's like,
You have parts and they all have good intentions.
yeah, yeah. Some of them I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I guarantee you, if
Yeah.
you spend this kind of time with any part from a place of self, you will find all of them have good intentions.
Yeah.
And that feeling of not sure is really important to follow. That's telling you
Yes.
that's telling you that there's a missing connection here.
There's a shadow side. There's a dark part, you know?
There's a part that's not in the light of self
Yep.
because as of right now, the story is, oh, this part doesn't have good intentions. So to me, that just means this self has not been with this part to see them.
Yeah, because that part is being like almost cordoned off
Yeah,
by the figure it out part. Says, yeah, you don't want to go there.
yeah,
Um, that that's a violent part. That is a chaotic part. And
hmm
if we were to embrace it, then the paradigm changes, and
right,
all of a
yeah,
sudden Taoism becomes true, and
yeah.
evil is as important as good. You know what I mean?
And so now you might show that assessor part or that labeling part. What happens when you just embrace this one,
Which one?
the unlovable one?
Oh yeah,
Did you
right.
suddenly become unlovable?
No,
No.
no. I kind of love myself more.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You found one more part of you that you can genuinely love.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
And
it
learn
kind of like,
from and understand the connections and understand how it shows up in you and other parts that it pushes on or pulls on.
yeah, yeah. The other ones really try to make sure that this one doesn't get activated. Um,
Yeah, right.
and that it's well, but they're also kind of like trying to help it. They're like, I'm going to prove you can love.
That's
You know,
right.
do this IFS, do
Right.
therapy.
And now
You know.
this also comes back to sex is love, right? That's another way to prove it.
Yes,
Right.
yes, because to some degree, sex is love means loving life, just loving the experience of life as um, this is invigorating, this is connecting
hmm
in a loving way to somebody else.
Right.
You know,
Right.
yeah. Because let's say, for example, the assessor part sometimes makes it difficult to love another person. Well, let's get around that by just doing sex. And the
That's right.
assessor part really quiets down. You
Uh-huh.
know, it's
Sure.
like
Sure.
intoxicated.
That's right. That's right. Turn the lights off and hey, it doesn't matter. So it's
Yeah,
assessment over. Good enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You get the rose-colored glasses.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You're like, oh, as long as I have this,
Right.
as long as we're having this great sex,
Yeah,
we
who's
can work on our
complaining?
issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
We
Right.
got issues, we can work on them as long as this part's strong,
hmm
It's a foundation.
Right.
As long as the other person is willing to change,
Right.
that's the fear sometimes, and you get hopeless, like they're not going to
Right.
change.
Right. And regardless, any of these parts, the degree that they have tried to help, they're not able to help in the way that self can help. They're not able to love the unlovable part, which is what it needs.
Yeah, it's so it's like trying to see why that is. It is that their roles are just like, yeah, it's just like their characters in a play.
Yes,
And, I'm taking on my dad's role, I'm taking on my
absolutely.
mom's role in this
hmm
situation, it's like what I learned and it's what's familiar. And, at times the figure it out part of me or the I don't know, maybe the grand picture,
Yeah.
philosophical part will go like, this is me loving my parents by continuing on their traditions, as unhealthy as some of them are. It's like redeeming them by saying, well, if we have an accident or an unplanned pregnancy, I was an unplanned pregnancy and I'm okay.
Right. Right.
I'm validating that they didn't
Right.
fucking screw up. And
Yeah. So I'm hearing that as, again, all these other protective parts or outward facing parts looking for, where is the love? What can we call love? What can we frame as love or try to bring love to? And not, again, comparing that to or in contrast with this exile part that believes it's unlovable and isn't and hasn't been allowed to express itself in a place that feels safe and validating,
yeah,
compassionate.
yeah, because even with my therapist, um, even with my therapist, this part has a hard time really because it feels even a shame,
Right, right,
it won't even come out there because I'm like, Susan, my therapist's name is Susan, like, she's like, what's coming up for you? I'm like, I'm going to start bawling,
right,
and, there's a part of me that isn't letting me,
right,
there's a part of me that says, men don't cry. You
right,
are, if you start crying, you, uh, people, it's like people walk away.
right.
If you start crying, people are going to be like, oh, you're messed up. And,
Yeah,
I'm leaving this room.
right,
You are just a
right,
bubbling. And by the
right.
way, you've hurt a lot of people, so you don't deserve the cry. You don't deserve our sympathy.
That's right. That's right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're seeing all those connections. And again, how the connection to this one, that it it has a lot to cry about or something to cry about.
yes,
And
yes,
that's what it needs, is that space, presence, compassion.
yeah. It wants me to know it's really afraid.
That's
It
right.
is really afraid
Yeah.
that these other behaviors are not going to allow it to come into love. That it's addiction in some degree,
Hmm. Right.
and I'm not going to find love, and I'm going to hurt more people along the way,
Yeah.
and then another part comes in. It's like a self-like part,
Mhm.
and it says, "Yeah, that's why we're doing this." You know, you've been doing a. It's like it's almost like a little young part or whatnot, or saying, we're doing okay. We're working on it. Um,
Mm.
and and there's a really hopeful part. It's coming in to say, um, uh, you are lovable.
Yeah.
Look at Pachu. Look at
Yeah.
Jackie. Look
Yeah.
at your
Yeah.
mom. Look at all these people that love you.
Right. Yeah. And those parts have tried that
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
That's their method.
yeah.
They have good
And so
intentions.
they do. And it says in response to them, yeah, these people love me, but I can't find a way to love them the way they
Yeah.
are because of the assessor part.
That's one of the beliefs it has what I'm hearing are two core burdens or beliefs, and maybe there are more.
Yeah,
One is that it is unlovable, and the other is that it is capable of loving,
right,
or that you are, or that other parts make you that way.
right. Yeah,
So again, I am seeing the wound or the burden of this part as something that you can attend to directly. You know, it's not wrong about how those other parts interact and interfere and etc. But this part has its own burden and pain of feeling and believing like it may not be lovable,
Yeah.
and that maybe you or it can't love, and just the hell that would be if it were true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
And I think it's open, while I have it in my arms,
Hmm.
it does feel open to releasing these burdens. Um, kind of also thinks like, or now maybe it's a self-like part or something, but saying, where is the originating event? My youth,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I
know,
I would probably lean towards taking it very slow and assuming that
yeah,
you may need to meet with this part several more times to
yeah,
understand it, to understand how the other parts, which parts try to jump in, and how the other parts feel around it,
yeah,
and to understand, yeah, where and when and what memories and places does it feel stuck, and exactly what it needs to unburden those from
yeah,
you, from self engagement.
yeah. It's a lot of
Yeah,
memories to go through.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. The first one was Julie Michaels in 6th grade. Yeah. I wanted to ask her to dance, and said no a bunch of times. And I said, "What am I, chopped liver?" And she goes, "Yes, you are," angrily. And I
Hmm.
was so hurt by that. I was so hurt by that. And I didn't tell mom, didn't tell anybody.
Right.
I just carried that, and that
Carried
became,
that sorrow and carried those beliefs forming about what that means.
yeah, Julie, if you hear this, I forgive you. um, uh, yeah, but it carried that. So many other rejections. And then, you know, I think it also, I got a sense that it also has carried just so many little wounds when people
Yeah.
call me weird,
Yeah.
I've been called weird a lot.
Yeah. Will you let her know that, again, those all matter? And I'm looking, okay. Um, I would ask it how you can meet it again. And one reason why I'm saying that is because I need to go eat dinner.
Got
And
it.
so, and
Yep.
so,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. We had a long session.
that's how I would conclude any kind of session,
Sure.
uh,
Yeah.
with meeting apart. But so that's where I'm going to guide you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you know you you should do what
Yeah.
feels right for you in this part. So,
Right. So it's kind of saying something like this, right?
uh-huh.
I mean, I can't do MDMA all the time, but, um, and the sauna is too intense, actually towards the end. Um, but it's saying to me with another person, somebody I can feel vulnerable with, you know,
Yeah.
um, preferably a woman. Um, well, that's just saying that because his mom helps me. Um, I don't know, because it's like, it needs, these other parts are so strong, and, I just want to move forward. Um, yeah. So if I can find another person to continue to do this work with, that's how I really need, because you like what you've been there. You have been the additional element that
Me?
yes, because it's been like, when you get a group of people all helping and seeing you, it's so much better than even one person. It's like they all validate that you're okay. Like it's almost like I'd imagine that like when you're in the doctor's office and you have not only the doctor, but the nurse and the orderly, they're all taking care of you. You feel so taken care of, Yeah, it feels like that, like having more than just me there to witness it and to be there for it is what it needs.
Okay. Double check that that's coming from that part and not other parts. Because,
Yeah.
because you do have other parts that
Well, yeah, and it says okay, so now
that to whom bringing other people into a pain that I'm experiencing is how they operate, right? You have other parts like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is saying like, if it could just be me, then that could be enough. Um, it doesn't, it actually doesn't trust that I have enough self energy usually.
Yeah. Yeah. It hasn't known that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
and you might ask yourself, self might ask, how can I show up for this part? What can I do? And I'm not saying, hey, you need to go it alone or that people shouldn't, use a guide. But yeah, what is self's decision? What is self's commitment? Uh, what is self's next step? You know,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's something to think about.
Yeah, I think the self is really saying the visualization is the key.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah.
I get a quiet moment and really visualize it,
Yep.
and especially that separation,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
where I can see it
Mm-hmm.
separate, then slowly, like just like we did, build up some compassion,
Mm-hmm.
build up some back strength, spine strength, be there, or as it
Yeah.
starts to get overwhelmed with emotion and hold it.
Yeah. And just a reframe I'll offer there is getting space from other parts.
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Making sure, like checking in. Okay, who is there?
Mm-hmm.
Because they pop in. They feel their input is just as important for this part.
Of course.
Yeah, because they've been doing the work.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not self's weakness. It's other parts. It's other parts.
Strength.
At the front of strength exactly
Yeah.
at the front of the line.
Yeah. They're strong.
Mm-hmm.
They're strong. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, James.
Sure. Thank you.
There. This
Okay.
was this isn't the way I thought it was gonna go. I thought it would be more unhinged, so to speak. But I really loved it, and this is the core part, right? This is the core
Absolutely.
part, and it went there, and it was
Yeah.
meandering way, but maybe it had to be a meandering way.
Yeah. And to invite that meandering a bit, another thing you can do as part of a conclusion is kind of check back in with some of those parts you met along the way and say, hey, you're connected to this one too, aren't you? And I'm here now.
Yeah.
I'm here with this one.
Yeah.
And I intend to continue to do that and just kind of, so that there is some kind of unification or some updating with those protective parts that they can see that you're present and aware of this part. And it's connections.
One thing that has come up for me at times in self energy, and you don't hear about it too much, is the C of creativity. And this C and self for me was creative. It says, oh yeah, go back and listen to this recording, because then you'll go through them and they'll pop out saying, yeah, that's me, and you'll revisit them. It'll be easy to revisit them because they'll recognize themselves. I have parts of me that love being, the center of attention and love, to express themselves. So,
Sure.
yeah. So
Yep.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
This was wonderful. You're a true gem, and
All right.
you're doing the
Glad I
Lord's
could
work.
help. Glad I can help. Yeah. Yeah. As are you.
All right. Thank you, James.
Okay. I'll send
Yep.
you the call, and
Okay.
feel free to reach out and keep me posted.
Will do. All right. Love you, man.
Good night.
Good night.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.